Everybody, welcome to my channel, Be Free Now with Maria. So today I want to ask the question, why do we let ourselves down? And the reason why we let ourselves down is because we don't believe in ourselves and we're scared. We're afraid of our failures and we're afraid of our successes because our success represents change. It's easy to understand why we don't want our failures, right? But our success, we're like, oh, of course I want that. But yes and no. We want it, but we're scared of it because it represents change. And change, right, is something that's scary for us because we've learned to find safety within how we've created things. So if now we have to change with the way we're doing things, that's going to disrupt our sense of safety. And we've gotten so comfortable with the way we created the safety that we don't necessarily want to change that. But if we want to experience something different, right, and have more of what our heart desires and be able to follow our dreams or our wants, right, then we have to reconsider how we are creating our sense of safety for ourselves, right? We also want to change the way we see ourselves, right? So if we create safety by having everything a certain way, right, and keeping the status quo, then we're not going to be so quick to take steps, right? We're going to say we want to, but we're going to hold ourselves back. We're going to let ourselves down because we're afraid, right? And how we see ourselves, right, matters too, because if we see ourselves as limited beings or beings that are can create major problems for ourselves by following something that feels good to us, we're going to scare ourselves and we're going to hold back. And if we see ourselves as something more than just this human form, right? And we see our purpose here as more expansive than just to create external safety. And what I'm talking about safety is just like everything is good because I have all of this in order. I'm not talking so much about physical safety, right? But as much as what we think of with the when I'm talking about physical, I'm talking about the body, right? Not the physical safety in relation to, right, what we're able to provide for ourselves, but we rely, right, on on seeing things as they're good because, well, since this is good and I have this and I have that, then my life is good. And yeah, your life may be, secure in lots of ways. And I'm not saying throw your security out the window, but what I'm saying is, right, that there are other things you may want and be holding yourself back from because you're afraid to lose what you have. And the reality is, right, that you don't necessarily have to give up your sense of safety to create better for yourself, right, or to create, to be able to follow your dreams. You don't necessarily have to give up your sense of safety. You may just have to change the way you see your safety. In other words, right, I find my safety in the knowing that I'm divinely guided and supported, and that whatever it is that I am dreaming of doing, then the universe will support me in the process. In other words, if I'm dreaming it is in alignment with me, so my job is to pursue it and then allow the unfoldment to happen. In other words, for me to be able to create from that space, and whatever it is, whether it's financial means or emotional, means, whatever it is, that it's going to unfold for me, that it will create good for me, that it will continue to expand me. Like, in other words, it's not like I have to stay in this space in order to stay safe, or I have to throw everything to the wind in order to be able to create more good for myself. No, I can find that balance in between. But it's about, right, trusting and believing in myself, in my desires, in my wants, and being able to take steps and move forward, right, in that direction, as opposed to thinking that in order for me to do this, I have to completely disrupt everything that I know. It's not necessarily true. I can take steps in the direction that feels more in alignment with me, and I can learn to find that balance as I find my way through my next chapter, or through the next phase, or through the next project, or my next whatever, a way of earning money and so forth. So, right, so how changing how we see our sense of safety and how we create it for ourselves makes a difference in giving us the ability to see that, wait, I can do this. I don't have to not follow through what I really want. I don't have to let go of what I really want to keep myself safe, because in reality, we're not really keeping ourselves so safe as we are keeping ourselves low in mood. Because when we are holding ourselves back and letting ourselves down, we're going to feel yucky, we're going to feel heavy, right? When we are pursuing something that feels good and we feel a calling to, then we feel more inspired and more alive inside and more joyful. So how we create our safety, right, has to change, because we can end up really holding ourselves back, and it doesn't feel good, right? So believing in ourselves is huge, right? When we believe in ourselves, when we believe that we have a purpose, that we are more than just our physical bodies, right? That we are divinely inspired for a reason, that we are being supported, right? These sorts of beliefs shape things for us too. And what it starts to shape is that we start to taking steps in the direction that we really want to go in, as opposed to letting ourselves down and leaving ourselves with these feelings of abandonment and fear that weigh us down. So I hope that helps. But before I end, let me get a word from my bag of words and see what else I'm inspired to share about this. Oh boy, I got a lot of words. All right, I'm going to let them all out except for two. Let's see. Shame. Oh, and jealousy. So that's interesting. Shame. Shame is something that will hold us back. You know, if we're feeling shame about ourselves or what we believe about ourselves, we're going to hold ourselves back. And every time we hold ourselves back and we let ourselves down and we see other people going for it and doing what they really want to do, or at least appearing like they're doing what they really want to do, we start to feel jealousy, right? And that's a negative emotion that's going to just weigh us down even further. So we want to recognize, right, if we are feeling any shame that's holding us back, we want to address that. We want to sit with that feeling. We want to understand it so that it no longer has power over us, and we don't have to sit around feeling jealousy, because we can, right, then create for ourselves. And once we're creating for ourselves, then we don't have to be as jealous, right, because we are creating good for ourselves too. And if anything, we're happy for them and we're happy for ourselves, right? We're feeling good within, we're feeling good without, we're wishing ourselves well, we're wishing other people well, and everybody prospers from that end. But when we are holding on to our shame and to the stories about our worth and so forth, we are not going to be in alignment. We're not going to be able to create from a good space, right? We're going to really just keep on holding ourselves back, and that's not what we want to do. So I hope that helps and that you have a beautiful day. If this video helped you in some way, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.